Hello and a warm welcome to KOGI in Focus, a week packed full of activities. You are aware that KOGI in Focus is a weekly program that beams the searchlight on happenings in and around KOGI. And in today's edition, we have stories that cut across all walls of life. I am Khadijat Mohammed. To start with, KOGI Governor joins FRSC to clear gridlock on ABUJA-LOKOJA highway. Governor Bello celebrates Salah in his hometown, Agasa, and suspected killer of owner of Popular Chooks supermarket apprehended by KOGI police. This and more when we return. Welcome back. KOGI State Governor Yahya Bello last week Sunday, before EIDIL joined officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC and other security agencies to control traffic on the ABUJA-LOKOJA highway, which has been in gridlock for days. Governor Bello, who arrived Jamata area of the state from Abuja, spent more than 5 hours directing the flow of traffic that has kept travelers in one spot since Friday.
The governor called on other security heads in the state to deploy more personnel to join his security officials in controlling traffic. He said his action followed the brief he got on the traffic situation along Lokoja-Abuja route, especially Bata in Lokoja down to Koto in Kogi-Kotonkarufi local government of the state from his security details on Saturday. Governor Bello decided to visit the scene after another briefing on Sunday that travelers were still stranded on the road. The governor, however, criticized the response to the emergency road situation by the officers of the Federal Road Safety Corps, which he described as slow. He noted that there was an accident involving two articulated vehicles on a single lane on the bridge while maintenance work was going on the second lane. He blamed the FRSC for not responding quickly in evacuating the lorries, considering the usual heavy daily traffic on the road. The governor commended commuters and drivers for their patience, while urging that relevant agencies should deploy more personnel to ensure quick clearance of the road. They commended the governor for his presence at the scene, noting that without his intervention, no vehicle would have been able to move. Later on Sunday evening, officers of the Nigerian Army, Navy, Civil Defense and Vigilante joined the governor and his security personnel in controlling the chaotic traffic.
The Federal Road Safety Corps FRSC has deployed 1,200 officers to KOGI State to ensure a free flow of traffic before, during, and after this year's EIDIL celebrations. The KOGI State Sector Commander of FRSC, Idris Fika, disclosed this in an interview with correspondents in Lokoja. Fika, while expressing the readiness of the command to ensure hitch-free celebration, noted that these officers had been deployed to strategic areas across the 21 local governments of KOGI State. According to him, drivers plying the roads of KOGI State should avoid overloading and ensure that passengers are compelled to wear face masks in line with the COVID-19 protocols. He said the command will not hesitate to try any motorist who violates traffic rules. Fika said that the state, which is housing 8 unit command and 2 outposts, will put all measures in place to avoid unnecessary crashes on the road. Against this background, it is important for all motorists passing through the state to maintain speed limits while traveling. It is someone that is alive that celebrates EIDIL. Drivers must drive carefully and they must reduce their speed, especially in this rainy season. Driving under the rain is very dangerous, especially at high speed. We are currently in the midst of this deadly pandemic called coronavirus. It is real, so all passengers, including drivers, must observe strictly all the COVID-19 protocol by wearing face masks and maintain social distancing. 10-seater vehicles, drivers are expected to carry not more than 5 passengers instead of the usual 10. Any driver found wanting on this will not be spared. Motorists in the state have commended Governor Yahya Bello for consistently fulfilling his promise on Operation Zero Pothole in the state. Omale Wisdom made this commendation at the park in Lokoja while addressing newsmen on the dramatic change in infrastructural development in the state. Omale, who revealed that the effort of Governor Yahya Bello in sustaining the drive of Operation Zero Pothole in the state, especially Lokoja metropolis, is glaring. Also noted that Kogi is now a state to emulate in infrastructural delivery. Omale said that he's an Igala by tribe, and because of tribal disposition, he had a certain reservation for this administration. But the recent infrastructural achievements, he is saying, especially the rehabilitation of roads and drainage system in Lokoja town, has changed his notion about the government of Yahya Bello. It is true that the following proper execution of Operation Zero Potholes in Kogi State trunk roads by the Ministry of Works and Housing, beginning with the state capital, most notable deplorable portions in Lokoja metropolis, has been experiencing massive repairs from Zone 8 Road, Ganaja Junction to Ganaja Village dual carriage. The Commissioner for Works and Housing, Engineer Abubakar Ohere, has been working round the clock to ensure the matching order is achieved as he deployed capable hands, materials and machine of the ministry to give the affected roads a befitting facelift. Kogi State Governor has warned criminals operating in and around the GEGU-BEKI community and the state as a whole to move out before his administration flushes them out. Governor Bello handed down the warning during the conferment of chieftaincy titles on more than 60 persons, including the title of Omerezobani conferred on the governor.
Governor Bello was accompanied to the ceremony by the Secretary to the State Government and other top government functionaries. While announcing the promotion of the Ohino-Iyiwo to a second-class chief, he described the people of GEGU-BEKI as loving, hardworking and accommodative and advised them to continue in that way.
By the powers conferred on me as the executive governor of this state, I hereby pronounce the Ohino-Iyiwo of GEGU-BEKI and Muhammad Abba as a second class. We have able-bodied men and women who are ready to challenge any form of insecurity. And that is why you see a lot of them here today displaying that aspect of what we made of. It is a simple signal and warning that criminals, kidnappers, bandits, cattle rustlers, please go away.
The elected new Masani of GEGU-BEKI highlighted the significance of his title and had a message for the youths of the community.
The Masani literally means the learned. That you know what it takes to be in a society, you know what you can do for the society, and you know when it is good, and you know what is bad, and you are shown what is bad to the society. The youth is to stay peacefully, avoid social vices. Age is just a number. But if you can conduct yourself well, you will be with the helms of the affairs of the elder people. So I'm imploring the youth to be law-abiding.
The Ohino-Iyiwo Muhammad Al-Hassan Abba had kind words for Governor Bello, honoring him with the title Omereza Ogbani for what he described as his kindness to humanity. Governor Bello also found time to pay a customary visit to the KOGI-GEGU of Cotton Karufi, Abdulrazak Gambo Isa Koto.
In view of the enormous roles of information and communication technology in the areas of education, defense, banking, agriculture, power generation, marine services, and other vital sectors of the economy, the Chairman Senate Committee on ICT and Cybercrime, Senator Yakubu Osheni, has called on an accelerated drive in Nigeria's ICT development. The call was made in Abuja during the committee's various oversight visits to the Defense Space Administration, Army Cyber Warfare Command, Nigeria Immigration Service, and Civil Aviation. Senator Oseni, in the company of the Vice Chairman of the committee, Senator Buhari Abdul Fatai, and other members had earlier intimated their various hosts that they were in the facilities to be debriefed and synergized for the speedy establishment of the ICT and cybersecurity potentials of the country. While the committee members were received by Major General E.G. White at the Defense Space Administration, Brigadier I.G. Lassa and other top military officers at the Army Cyber Warfare Command played host to the lawmakers. Also, Comptroller General of the Nigeria Immigration Service, Mohammed Babandede, and his counterpart at the Civil Aviation, the Commissioner and CEO, Accident Investigation Bureau, Amin Olateru, respectively, received and conducted the senators around their facilities. Enumerating the exigencies of ICT, especially in the 21st century, Senator Oseni, who described the sector as a pivot for economic transformation, noted that the pace of globalization has been quickened with a plethora of effects on human lives. Digital technology also promises to make the world a much safer place. The need, therefore, to galvanize accelerated ICT development in Nigeria, particularly to ease business and service delivery, employment opportunities, and to expand revenue sourcing for the country cannot be overemphasized. The lawmaker, however, lamented that despite the lofty benefits embedded in ICT and digitalization, criminal elements around the world have chosen to turn ICT revolution to nightmare, adding that the gains of digital technology are being dampened by the rapid evolution of cybersecurity threats. He expressed worry that cybersecurity threats in Nigeria over the years has been heightened as a result of weak systems and palpable gaps in digital technology, noting that in Africa, Nigeria is at the bottom of cybersecurity manpower ratio to the total population. The committee consequently urged the management of the Defense Space Administration to always seek collaboration with relevant stakeholders in order to galvanize rapid development in Nigeria's digital technology and cybersecurity ecosystem. The highlight of the visit was the conferment of various awards on Senator Yakubu Oseni by the Nigeria Army Cyber Warfare Command and Nigeria Immigration Service. The governor of Kogi State, Yahaya Adoza Bello, represented by the deputy governor of Kogi State, Edward David Onoja, was on the 28th inaugurated the Environmental Task Force aimed at promoting sanitation in Kogi State and primarily the state capital, Lokoja. The deputy governor of Kogi State, Edward David Onoja, said that the task force is saddled with ensuring that the gains and strides recorded in Kogi State before the onset of the second tenure do not go to waste.
And statistics and records have it that we moved from a position as second dirtiest state capital years before 2016 to second cleanest state capital under the government of the That for me and for us and for many analysts is a major shift from the norm. And I believe this task force has been set up to do more, because His Excellency's mantra and the new direction mantra coming into 2019 election is let's do more. So in the area of sanitation, waste management, environmental cleanliness, and ensuring that when people pass through Kogi State, and I'm talking of visitors and passersby, one thing they should take away is that this is a clean and environmentally friendly state.
The Commissioner for Environment, Victor Omofaye, who gave the opening remark, highlighted the passion of Governor Yahaya Bello in keeping Kogi clean as the motive behind the ministry's giant stride in recent times.
Your Excellency, sir, let me, on behalf of the seated stakeholders whom you are inaugurating today, assure you and the good people of Kogi State that all things being equal, we shall deliver on the mandate Your Excellency has given us by the special grace of God, inshallah.
Omofaye made it known that Lokoja became one of the cleanest capitals in Nigeria by the deliberate action of the state government in hiring private waste collectors to keep the state clean, which in turn has generally given the state capital a facelift. He said that the task force will enforce the stringent laws aimed at keeping Kogi clean, stopping the encroachment of persons on government land, erection of illegal structures, operation of illegal markets, indiscriminate dumping of waste, promoting the beautification of some historical sites, and many more. He assured the governor and the people of Kogi State on the ability of the task force to execute the momentous task at hand. Following the decision by the federal government to reopen schools for exit classes on 4th of August 2020, Kogi State Commissioner for Education, Science and Technology has announced that schools in the state will reopen on 10th of August 2020. The commissioner made this disclosure after an emergency meeting with the critical stakeholders in the education sector in the state. In Lokoja, the stakeholders include ASUS, NAPS, ANCOPS, PTA, STETCOM, among others. According to the commissioner, the date was arrived at to allow for an adequate measure to be put in place to guarantee the safety of the students and teachers in compliance with the COVID-19 protocols. The stakeholders at the meeting jointly resolved that WAEC examination would commence on the 7th of August 2020, while schools in Kogi State will resume only for exit classes, Primary 6, GSS3 and SS3 on 10th of August 2020. They further resolved that all the intended examinations in the state will be announced later, while urging the eligible candidates for those exit exams to finalize their registration immediately. However, NECO and NAPTEB will meet to discuss the date of their examinations very soon. The stakeholders further agreed that all the NCDC COVID-19 protocols should be fully put in place at various schools' entrance gates, such as running water and soap, hand sanitizers, fumigation of schools, social distancing, face shield, infrared, thermometer, isolation centers, among others. The ministry will also set up a committee that will monitor and ensure that the protocols against COVID-19 are strictly adhered to. The state chairman of Academic Staff Union of Secondary Schools, ASUS, Comrade Ojo Ranti, appealed to the state government to intensify its effort to meet up with the requirements of the COVID-19 protocols in public schools to guarantee the safety of students and teachers before the date of resumption. Also, the state chairman of the National Association of Proprietors of Private Schools, NAPS, Dr. Habib Yakin, said that the state government's decision was a welcome development and assured the ministry of their cooperation. The Kogi State government, through the Ministry of Justice, has established the State Office of the Public Defender and Citizens' Rights Commission, PDC-RC, to provide legal aid and other related services free of charge to citizens who may not be able to afford the services of lawyers. The Director General of PDC-RC, Barrister Abdullahi Zakari, disclosed this when he led a team of lawyers from the Commission on an advocacy visit to some stakeholders in the state. The stakeholders visited the state commandants, Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps (NSCDC), Peter Megeri, State Commissioner of Police CP Ede Epeji, Nigerian Correctional Service Kogi Command Abubakar Gurim, and the Chairman Nigerian Bar Association Barrister Sam Owoyomi. Zakari said the state government had employed 150 lawyers for adequate manpower to enhance the speedy administration of criminal justice law across the state. Zakari noted that the bill establishing the commission was signed into law by His Excellency Governor Yahya Bello on June 3, 2019, saying its vision is to ensure that the justice sector in the state was reformed and better for it with the speedy dispensation of justice. He added that the commission has the power to investigate and make recommendations, freezing the congestion, and also ensure the protection of the fundamental human rights of the residents of the state. Zakari commended the state governor for his commitment and political will in ensuring justice for all citizens, while extolling the Commissioner for Justice and Attorney General of the state, Sani Mohammed, SAN, for the critical transformation he had brought to the sector, particularly in the last 4 years. The Director General stressed that the purpose of the visit was to introduce the Commission and her activities to the relevant stakeholders with the view to seek their cooperation and synergy to bridge the gaps in the administration of justice in the state. He therefore called for effective partnership from all the relevant stakeholders in terms of support and awareness to ensure that the residents of the state have direct access to justice irrespective of tribes, religion, or affiliation. He emphasized that the enactment of the Administration of Criminal Justice Law, ACJI, the employment of more law officers, and the establishment of PDC-RC was to demonstrate Governor Yahya Bello's commitment to the justice sector reforms and commended the State Attorney General for driving the reforms. In their separate responses, all the heads of the various sectors visited commended the state government and the Ministry of Justice for the gesture, saying it will make the residents of the state have access to justice, especially the downtrodden. The stakeholders further assured the state government of their readiness to collaborate and synergize with the Commission in their various capacities in achieving its goal. The Commissioner of Police, CP Ede Epeji, however, enjoined the Commission to also ensure that perpetual criminals are prosecuted and put out of circulation for the safety of the society. Two staff of the Abuja Electricity Distribution Company AEDC in Kogi, James Olayemi and Lamid Obadaki, have been arraigned before a Lokoja Chief Magistrate Court over alleged illegal and malicious disconnection of electricity supply. The duo was arraigned on Tuesday, 30th of July at Chief Magistrate Court 1 Lokoja, charged with conspiracy to commit a felony punishable under Section 97 of the Penal Code. The offenses are also contrary to Regulations 5 and 11 of the Nigeria Electricity Regulatory Commission Connection and Disconnection Procedures for Electricity Services 2007 and punishable under Section 94 of Electric Power Sector Reform Act 2005. According to the prosecuting counsel, O.C. King Esquire, who was represented by Emeje Arua Esquire, the private prosecution was brought pursuant to Section 86, 87, 88, 107 AE, 108 subsection 1C, 111, 112, and 113 of the Kogi State Administration of Criminal Justice Law 2017 by Surveyor Dennis Osauta. According to the prosecution, the defendants on March 10, 2020, along with others still at large, did maliciously and unlawfully disconnect electricity supply to electricity meter with account number 7157-18350, supplying electricity to the building being occupied by the complainant, number 1, Newer Quarters, Lokoja, Kogi State. The complaint form read in part that you and others now at large on the 10th of March 2020 within the magisterial district of this court did conspire amongst yourselves to commit a felony, to wit, unlawful disconnection of electricity supply, and thereby committed an offense punishable under Section 97 of the Penal Code, Laws of Kogi State. Osauta said that after his house was razed down and property worth over 600 million naira lost to a fire outbreak caused by the alleged negligence of AEDC in 2014, without any compensation by the company, he erected another house in its place. The newer surveyor added that the new building was connected to the grid and the AEDC installed maximum demand meter without explanation, drawing a monthly bill of between 140,000 naira and 130,000 naira, representing over 400% of his former bills before the inferno. He said that bills were astronomical and outrageous, and efforts to get the bill reviewed failed, only for the two defendants to come to his premises and disconnect his electricity supply without notice. In his ruling, the Chief Magistrate, Tanko Mohammed, said pursuant to Section 35, subsection 6 of the Constitution and Section 156 of the Act, and the fact that the prosecuting counsel did not oppose the bail application, he would use his discretion to grant bail to the defendants. He therefore granted bail to the defendant in the sum of 100,000 naira with a surety each in the same amount. The shorty, he said, must be a civil servant not below grade level 15 in the state civil service. Mohammed adjourned the case to the 12th of August for hearing. If you're just joining us, this is KOGI in Focus, your weekly review of happenings in and around KOGI. To be part of this, reach out to the producer and presenter KOGI in Focus on the number and social media handles displayed on your screen. KOGI State Governor Yahya Bello paid a condolence visit to KWARA State Governor, His Excellency Abdulrazak Abdulrahman, over the death of his father, Abdulganiyu Folorunsho Abdulrazak, SAN. The governor, who was received by his KWARA State counterpart at the presidential lounge of the KWARA State Government House in Lorry, noted that late Abdulganiyu Abdulrazak lived a fulfilled and exemplary life. Bello, in his condolence message, said he received the news about the passing of the late patriarch with great shock and sadness. He urged Governor Abdulrazak to take solace in the fact that his late father lived a good life which made great impact not only on his immediate family members by virtue of the illustrious children he has produced, but the nation at large. Governor Bello also disclosed that the tie between KWARA and KOGI State remains very strong, noting that they remain each other's keeper in time of celebrations and even in times of sorrow. He commiserated with the immediate family members of the late patriarch, the Ilorin Emirate Council, and the good people of KWARA State over the loss. He prayed God to grant the soul of the deceased Al-Jannat Firdaus. Governor Abdulrazak Abdulrahman thanked Governor Yahya Bello for standing with him, other members of Abdulganiyu Abdulrazak, government, and the people of KWARA State in their grieving moment. Abdulganiyu Folorunsho Abdulrazak died on July 25, 2020 at the age of 93. Gunmen shot 14 persons dead on Wednesday at Agudu, a BASSA community in Kogi Kotokarifi local government area of Kogi State. The State Commissioner of Police, Ede Ayuba, who disclosed this while briefing journalists on the activities of the command, said 13 of the victims were members of one family. Ayuba said 6 persons who sustained various degrees of injury have been moved to medical facilities. The police commissioner added that on receiving the distress call, he immediately moved to the scene, but the killers left before their arrival. He said the attack may have been triggered by an age-long alleged long communal dispute in the community, described it as unfortunate. Ayuba said efforts have been intensified to bring the killers to book. Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello has felicitated with the Muslim Ummah on the occasion of this year's EIDIL celebrations, urging citizens to imbibe virtues of peace, love, and unity. Bello admonished the people to continue to promote peaceful coexistence, religious tolerance, and national unity, among other virtues that will ensure accelerated progress and socio-economic development of the state and nation at large. He said Eid-el-Kabir as an occasion for the Muslim Ummah to remember the sacrifices Prophet Ibrahim made in obedience to the will of God should thus inculcate in all Muslims and even non-Muslims a sense of sacrifice that puts others and our nation first. The governor condemned the recent attack in Abudu community of the state, assuring that the government will do everything possible to bring perpetrators to book. He urged all the warring groups in the area to sheathe their swords and give peace a chance for the overall growth and development of the area and the state as a whole. Bello also called on Nigerian Muslims to renew their commitment to the principle of Islam so that they could maintain their high philosophical standards of honesty, discipline, faithfulness, contentment, and sacrifice to enable them contribute meaningfully to the peace, prosperity, and progress of the nation. He emphasized that the values of tolerance, sacrifice, and love for Allah and fellow human beings are more relevant and necessary than ever before in the nation and the world today, stating that everyone has a stake in a peaceful and prosperous society where they could live earn their livelihoods, worship their creator in different ways, and realize the reason for their existence. Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello says the security of lives and property and the well-being of the people of the state remain his top priority. Governor Bello, who said this in his hometown, Agasa, where he went to celebrate EIDIL, urged Muslims to remain true to their faith and be law-abiding.
Allahu Akbar. Governor Bello harped on the importance of security and said his administration will do whatever it takes to keep lives and property safe.
We greet all the Muslim Ummah across the country and across the world. Barakah de Sallah. The message I have for my people is to remain peaceful, law-abiding, and to be security conscious. There has been recent attacks, by bandits or criminals along the federal highways. And in every successful attack or kidnap, just know that Kogi State has, dismantled or foiled over 10 before you can have one successful one that is being peddled in the media, negatively. However, I want to assure you that in the next few days, I will lead other security agencies and we're going to annihilate them by the grace of God.
He said better days lie ahead for the youths of the state, but said the youths themselves have a role to play.
Encourage them to key into all the economic program of the federal government, starting from empowerment to various economic programs that the federal government, the state government has initiated. That is the only way we can see ourselves out of poverty.
Governor Bello underscored his administration's commitment to winning the war against COVID-19, despite the past controversies surrounding the visit of the NCDC team and its confirmation of coronavirus cases in the state.
You know very well that Kogi State has been coronavirus free. And since the opening of the borders, across the various states, we've been mingling and moving all around. They just come to see and assess our level of preparedness and how we have been handling our affairs here. And they are studying exactly what we are doing. That, is making Kogi State to be coronavirus free.
The chief imam of the community, Suleiman Salihu, called on the people to pray that God replaces the COVID-19 pandemic with blessings. Governor Bello, since assuming office, has always celebrated EIDIL at Checkpoint Prayer Ground, Okene, but this year in his hometown, Agasa, Okene, in the central part of Kogi State.
The government and people of Kogi State appear unanimous in the direction the state should take in the days ahead. Top government officials and a cross-section of residents who spoke to journalists as Muslims in the country celebrate EIDIL say the security of lives and property and the fight against COVID-19 are the topmost priorities.
Many residents say they are appreciative of what the state government has done under Governor Yahya Bello's watch. They, however, want more.
All what he's doing, I like them, and he's doing well as a governor elected by the people.
The security has been very, very good because you can see it's Saturday and everybody is moving freely and with peace of mind.
The road network in Anyigba, the road network in Okene, if you can see at my back, you see it's nylon tar, and we give glory to God for using the excellency.
Some spoke on the long-drawn issue of salary of civil servants in the state and also acknowledged the state government's efforts.
We want to thank him for paying our salary because we are enjoying our salary. We thank God for using him again.
I'm a local government pensioner, and some months have been owed to me that are not being paid now, likewise other people. So I would like the government to look into the payment of pensioners.
Top government officials who spoke to journalists say better days lie ahead.
You can never talk of any community without good health. As you all know, we are coming up with a central reference hospital that will be like first of its kind in the history of this country. We are also coming up with a University of Science and Technology owned by state government, knowing fully that His Excellency, has been fighting to make sure that Ajakuta come back to life. under this administration of His Excellency President Muhammadu Buhari. So if Ajakuta is functioning properly, we need to feed Ajakuta with proper manpower. Engineering feed is required, and His Excellency have deemed it fit to come up with University of Science and Technology to be able to prepare our youth for the challenges ahead, such that when Ajakuta begin to function properly, we won't be looking outside the state to, engage manpower. I think that is, majorly what we are doing, and we are teaching them how to catch fish.
If you have good government, good leaders, they are all a manifestation of the followers. But where you have bad leadership, it is also a product of the followers. But what we are seeing in Kogi today is that we have a government that comes from the grassroots, well accepted, and to the glory of God, he came with the fear of God. That's His Excellency, my leader, my boss, came with the fear of God, and he has been doing well in terms of delivering the goodwill to the people. So we need their prayers to sustain this tempo so that more dividends of democracy can be delivered to the grassroots.
We should always be patient with the government of the day, that the government of the day has the interest of the masses at heart.
There was an update on the COVID-19 situation in the state with words of advice for the people.
BELLO, with his policies and programs, especially on health issue, and it's evident that the so-called COVID-19, as far as Kogi State is concerned, is a thing of the past.
They agreed that this year's EIDIL KABIR celebration was scaled down in line with COVID-19 prevention guidelines, but described the situation as bearable as for a good cause.
Kogi State Governor Yahya Bello says all parts of the state will benefit from his administration's infrastructure development. Governor Bello, who gave the assurance during his Salah visit to Ohinoi of Ebiraland and the Megeri of Lokoja, also promised the people of Kogi West needed support at all times when the Ijumu traditional rulers visited him in Okene.
Kogi State Governor Bello, after EIDIL KABIR and Jumat prayers, paid homage to the Ohinoi of Ebiraland, His Royal Majesty Ado Ibrahim, who expressed his joy for celebrating another Salah with the governor and people of Kogi Central. The governor used the opportunity to show his contempt for and preparedness to tackle insecurity and lawlessness.
He admonished our people that they should key into the federal government and the state government programs that will ameliorate and pull us out of poverty. There's no any amount of sharing of money that will go round.
The Ohinoi called on the people to support the state government in its development efforts.
There are many things waiting for you. And all of you, remind him, not that you don't know, he has a program from his back, perhaps, what he do for his people. When I'm saying people, I'm not saying for the people alone. All of you are amalgams of his power. And may God do it with all of you.
The visiting Ijumu monarchs commended Governor Bello for his efforts in the community, while the senior special assistant on security promised to make life unbearable for criminals who dare to disturb Ijumu people.
We are people that appreciate people. Once you do something to us, we have that upbringing to come and say thank you. And we pray that Kogi State will continue to be in peace and development will be our portion.
Directive has come from His Excellency that we, the FRSC, should go after them and wipe them out. And we do that without fear and favor.
The governor's Salah homage continued with a visit to the Megeri III of Lokoja, Muhammadu Kapiru, where he used the opportunity to emphasize the importance of unity and to witness the turban of a serving House of Representative member representing Lokoja, Shaba Ibrahim, as the Sodengi of Lokoja.
In Kogi State here, under my leadership, we have never been this united. We have never been this cooperative and be focused, irrespective of the political affiliation, irrespective of our tribe, religion, and the creed or whatever you believe in. Under this leadership, and I know moving forward, we see ourselves first as citizens of Kogi State, who are partners in progress.
Present at the event were top government officials, party stalwarts, and former Kogi State Governor Ibrahim Idris' son and 2019 governorship aspirant Abubakar Ibrahim.
The Kogi State Police Command says the killers of popular supermarket owner Innocent Ofodile, who was murdered along the Lokoja-Abuja road, are now known. Commissioner for Police Ayuba Ede, who briefed journalists in Lokoja, said following investigations into other crimes committed, one Vincent Omogo was arrested and in his confession mentioned that him and others now at large were responsible for Innocent Ofodile's murder.
Omogo said the gang carried out the killing on the prompting of one of his supermarket attendants.
Now Igbo guy and they two Igbo boys. They two only me at all the inside motor, they just the inside motor. They two. And they choose just they go Abuja. Now they just stop and for road. As they stop and for road. Now you can't stop. It is say now people want come, my friends want come carry. Now they can't stop. The one we wear mask, no one wear. The one we wear mask, can't tell and say to me no condom, me bring my men get. He say no get, I say the one men get, he want use go feed in family for Abuja. And he can't say that one we wear mask, can't tell and say more waste this guy na lying there like whole money. Wait till your offense me use kill him, say in get in father they na your guy say na your guy before. Saying father they sick. Now they come beg and say, "Oga, please, may just come up my salary, just give me half. You go treat my father." Now the man can say no, give you. Say now one boy beat to me, never read to say to you. I can't tell say the boy can't think go. I can't inside bedroom, can't think waiting go do the man. I can't think waiting they do. Now he come. He tell me say he robbed the man more than 3 times. They arrest him more than that 3 times. Me I robbed the man. Okay, now he can't say to. They can't carry and come out. He can't think another one. Say this man, say go kill this man. Say go kill the choose. Say what he choose to do because of his father dead. Say choose no go free. But now one boy in B. He give him house. Now one boy in B. Two of them they live for the same house. The same house. Oh, okay. 2 of them can know say the man go travel. The man tell us he won't travel. The man tell us he won't travel. He can't enter inside room saying go this man no reach where they go successful.
So exactly for which side? Meanwhile, 23 suspected criminals picked up from different locations in the state were paraded at the police command in Lokoja, including a 28-year man who was caught with a human skull and a 33-year-old man accused of stealing. They both confessed to the crimes.
When I come to my uncle in BASSA, so he told me to escort him to a friend of his to Elete. So when we get to that place, now he told me that he wants to collect medicine for his hand. So when we get to that place, after the discussion, that his friend called him and told him that there's a business for him. Somebody told him to go and look for human skull. Can he get it? Then my uncle told him that he cannot get it by himself. When I get home, I told a friend of mine named Kano. So I told him. He said that it's very difficult for him to get it. So the friend, he said I should give him some time. So when I gave him sometimes like a week later, he called me. That my friend called me that he said what my uncle told him that his friend in need is available. I should come and carry it and give it to my uncle so that he will give to that his friend, so that the person that his friend told him he want to buy, so that he will buy. So I carried it to my uncle's place. So when we get to that man's place, then we saw us and we were arrested.
My here is that I'm a farmer. So it was last year I go borrow money to join the little one when I have, so that I can so that my family can do work in church. So when the issue of this season come out, so all my farm come spoil. So I can't have shortage of borrow when I go borrow money about lap where I go collect. What you can happen is that we can't gather enter somebody's house. We collect money about 19,000 naira. That is why they arrest us.
Other suspects were arrested for various other crimes, including armed robbery, kidnapping, illegal possession of firearms, vehicle snatching, and impersonation of military personnel. Items recovered from the suspects include arms and assorted ammunition, 4 motorcycles, 3 motor vehicles, and a human skull. The police commissioner, Ayuba-Ede, commended security agents and other persons that played a part in the arrests.
But you realize that of recent, there was a kind of a little upsurge in the banditry on the way, kidnapping and armed robbery, cattle rustling, to the point that even on the way, we lost some of our prominent persons on the highways. Along Kotokerve here, there was a robbery incident that and a stroke kidnapping that took place. Our prominent investor here, Mr. Chooks, was one of the people that lost his life in that attack. And along Osara here, we lost an army captain, and at the same time, we lost another naval rating all along this Osara road. It happened because there was some small readjustment in our deployment, and before we could straighten it up, some windows were open, and then these people came in and were able to do those dastardly acts that they perpetrated. But we did not relent in our efforts. We went about looking for them, we went after them, and to God be the glory, we have been able to get some of them that.
Ayuba said the command's new strategy of working with officers of Operation Puff Adder highways in and around Kogi State will remain safe for travel before, during, and after the EIDIL KABIR celebration.
The family of late John ABBAH, a member representing the good people of Ibaji in the Kogi State House of Assembly, has commended Kogi State government for giving a befitting burial to their father who died recently. Daniel ABBAH gave this commendation at Ejule Ojebe in Ibaji local government area of Kogi State during the burial ceremony of their late father who died after a protracted illness. He revealed that the family is highly impressed by the effort of Governor Yahya Adoza Bello, who was represented by the Deputy Governor Edward Onoja and other stakeholders, whose presence was a source of comfort to the family. This is where we wrap it up on today's edition. Join me next week for another package of the program on this same channel. I am Khadijat Mohammed. Keep doing to others what you want them to do to you. Goodbye.